Good evening. Welcome to the City of Joliet pre-council meeting for Monday, November 3rd, 2025 at 5:30 in City Hall, Council Chambers, with the Honorable Mayor Terry Darcy presiding.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Here.
Councilman Moreno.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
First, we will have a presentation. Q2 and Q3 2025 Water Conservation Incentive Program winners and intro for Q4 2025 program presented by Allison Swisher, Director of Public Utilities.
Hi, Mayor and Council. I'm excited today to be here to update on our incentive program winners. As we've been doing now for over a year, we've been having a different quarterly challenge for both kids and adults to participate in and really educate and encourage water conservation. And so for Q2 2025, we had our adult winner, Connie Marks, who took an outdoor water conservation survey and learned more about how you can conserve water outdoors. I know rain barrels are always a very important part of that water conservation. And then Jovan did this very nice artwork and was our kids winner. For Q3, Amanda Gregory was our adult winner who learned more about how you can save water when you water your grass and when you should and shouldn't water your grass. And then we had a number, 3 kids, I believe from one family, who all participated in our Kids Challenge and attended our booth at the Kids Fest on August 2nd. So adult winners are getting $50 gift cards to local Joliet establishments, and kids are getting a fun gift bag. Ann Grooms is here. We're going to have our winners. Ann? Giovanna's here. Okay.
We have one of our quarter 2 winners, and we have Amanda from quarter 3.
Okay. Well, if we could bring up our winners to be recognized. Okay. Well, we really appreciate your efforts. We'll get a picture here with the council. And just to put in a plug for our 2025 quarter 4 incentive, you can learn about how to prevent a running toilet and what to do if you have a running toilet, because that can really add up on your water bill if you have a water running through your toilet. And then kids can win too by coloring our little picture there about how you can look for those leaks in your toilet. And all this information is at our website, rethinkwaterjoliet.org. Encourage people to go there to learn more about our water conservation incentive program and other water conservation initiatives. So thank you to our winners.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak under citizens to be heard on an agenda item? Okay, seeing none. Next, we will have the city manager review tomorrow night's actionable items.
Good evening. Tomorrow we'll hear from the committees on land use and economic development, public assets, and public service. On our consent agenda, approval of minutes, invoices to be paid. Council Memo 57925, approval of change order number 3 for the Bridge Street, Nicholson Street to Center Street roadway improvement project to PT Faro Construction, a deduction in the amount of $11,139.97, and payment request number 4 and final in the amount of $33,566.80. Council Memo 58025, approval of purchase of 1 Ford F-250 service truck from Rod Baker Ford in the amount of $66,063.70. This is part of our vehicle replacement program, and the truck will go to our electrical division. Council Memo 58125, approval of purchase number 1 for the 2025 bulk roadway sign materials to High Star Traffic in the amount of $42,128.75. Council Memo 58225, approval of change order number 1 for the 2025 Hickory Spring Creek cleaning project to Greg W. Dobzik Excavating in the amount of $20,000, and payment request number 1 and final in the amount of $150,000. Council Memo 58325, approval of purchase of replacement waste pumps for the Aux Sable wastewater treatment plant from Berger LLC in the amount of $60,000. Council Memo 58425, approval of a contract with MMARX Solutions, that's the prescription drug rehab management program that Kevin Singh presented to a couple weeks ago in Finance. Agenda items. These, a couple of Austin Tyler items that would normally be in consent. Approval of change order number 2 for the Roslyn Street Culvert Replacement Project to Oster Tyler Construction, a deduction in the amount of $2,704, and payment request number 3 and final in the amount of $188,191.67. Council Memo 58725, approval of change order number 2 for the Spring Creek Phase 1 Water Main Improvement Project at Austin Tyler Construction for a deduction in the amount of $1,145,302.94, and pay estimate number 9 and final in the amount of $1,302,885. Council Memo 58825, we will have our 2025 property tax levy discussion, which I believe Kevin has been able to connect with all of you to anticipate that for tomorrow. We have to have it heard a certain number of days before you can vote on it. We don't have any licenses and permit applications tomorrow, but we do have a couple of public hearings. So we'll have a public hearing regarding an ordinance designated an area as a Joliet River's Edge redevelopment zone. We will also have a public hearing for a resolution approving an annexation agreement for 8.1 acres located east of Thoroughbred Lane, south of Old Renwick Road, where a family is going to be building 6. They're going to subdivide into 6 lots so they can build houses on those lots. Larry, that's your district, and I believe
Yeah, somebody from staff,
you heard from, yeah. Okay.
It sounds fine to me.
Okay.
I know that they have to do the drainage and all, and we had 4 people that showed up at the plan commission and got all the questions answered.
Yeah.
And we're happy. I was just thinking, I didn't do the math in my mind when I talked to them last week. Well, there's some pretty big lots.
Yeah, really big lots.
Yeah, I mean, I figure probably an acre is going to be drainage.
Mhm.
It's still 7.1 divided by 6, that's almost an acre apiece.
Right.
3/4 of an acre, so. Yeah, I got a good explanation from the city clerk.
Great.
And we're good.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, then ordinances, Council Memo 59325, ordinance designated an area as the Joliet River's Edge redevelopment zone, so we need to pass the ordinance after we have the public hearing on that. And then Council Memo 59425, ordinances associated with the De Leon subdivision that Councilman Hug and I were just discussing. Council Memo 59525, ordinance vacating .028 acres of a public drainage easement at 1715 Terry Drive. Council Memo 59625, ordinance approving the 4th Amendment to Development Agreement for Senior Suites of Joliet LLC building at 215 North Ottawa Street. Resolutions, Council Memo 59825, resolution authorizing execution of a lease agreement between the City of Joliet and La Sociedad, Inc., doing business as Casa Katrina Mexican Heritage Cuisine. Do we have Paulina here to present? Do you want to tell the council about it tonight? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good evening, members of the council. We have prepared a presentation for tonight. My colleague Emily McGuire will be doing that presentation, and then we'll be available for any questions that you have.
We can present tomorrow as well. I just wanted you to be able to ask questions tonight.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. So tonight's presentation outlines the tenant selection process following the request for proposal for the lease of the first floor of Union Station. I will provide an overview of the process, present the recommended tenant, and highlight a few of the lease terms. So earlier this year, the city issued a request for proposal to identify a qualified tenant to lease and operate the commercial restaurant space within Union Station. The goal was to attract a business that would activate the space, serve the community, and contribute to the local economy. Following the release of the RFP, the Economic Development Division reached out to approximately 29 partners and roughly 20 businesses throughout the region. Between March and May, 7 groups conducted walkthroughs of the space, and by the May deadline, we had received 4 complete proposals. Following the submittal deadline, in June, we held an internal staff review. This consisted of city staff members from community and economic development, planning, purchasing, and facilities. Following this review, 3 proposals were selected to move forward to an in-person interview panel. The interview panel consisted of staff members from community and economic development, facilities, and the city manager's office. During the panel interviews, applicants were invited to share any marketing materials or any accessory documentation that would help us understand their thorough proposal. Each session concluded a Q&A for staff to thoroughly understand what exactly was being proposed. All proposals were reviewed and evaluated by city staff based on the following criteria: financial capacity, economic impact, community benefits, project feasibility, and proposed structure of economic incentive. Based on the conclusion of the interviews, it was determined that Casa Katrina was most complete and best fit for this opportunity at this time. In front of you here, I will be playing a short video that Casa Katrina presented to staff during their in-person interview.
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. We'll send this video to everyone so you can review the video, but we'll continue with the rest of the presentation.
Maybe for tomorrow, get it to the city clerk so she can make sure it's up and running. And
Yes.
are you going to send it tonight to the council?
I can follow.
Okay, thank you.
The proposed terms reflect internal discussions aimed at aligning the city's priorities and accommodating the operational needs of the Casa Katrina team. This includes a base rent of $7,000 plus a 5% annual increase, a lease term of 5 years with an optional two consecutive renewals of 5 years each, so a total of 15 years potentially. Also, I want to highlight that the tenant will be responsible for paying all utility bills and property taxes, plus will be generating food and beverage tax for the city.
Just to be clear, we mean base rent of $7,000 per month.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
I wanted, since it doesn't say that, people are watching.
Yes, per $7,000 per month.
Okay.
The Casa Katrina team has communicated to us that they have full intention of utilizing the brewing equipment and brewing space. They are currently in negotiations with the former migraine brewmaster to oversee the operations. Therefore, there is a condition of the lease that notes that the brewing operations must commence within the first 6 months of operation, with the option of one extension of 6 months. And if the tenant fails to operate the brewing equipment within the first year, the city does have the right to revoke the tenant's use of the portion of the premises, take possession of the brewing equipment, or lease or sell the brewing equipment to a third party on site without revising the lease terms.
Excuse me, I have a question there.
I'm sorry.
What happens if during that period of learning the job and how to brew the beer, and something happens to the equipment, who's responsible for that? Since we own it.
The tenant will be required to have insurance, so that would be covered under their insurance.
They would cover those, what do you call them? What's the proper term?
Liability insurance?
No, I meant what we're insuring.
Oh, the equipment.
The equipment, but the.
Like a silo, something like that?
I don't know.
The technical term is called a brew house.
A brew house. I
Yes.
call it a vat, but it's not a vat either. So that's what I was concerned about, if something happened, that, because that's very expensive equipment.
Yes.
So I know this is new. Any experience with these folks doing this in the past? I know you said Gregor's is coming up to help them along, to teach
Yeah.
them how to do this.
Yes, so they've met with Dan, and they are currently negotiating with him, so he can help with the operations.
But no prior experience to brewing beer, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So in the event, they would have their own insurance on that piece of the property within that location?
For the entire property, correct.
Okay.
I mean, they would be required to have insurance.
I would think they'd have to have a codicil on that, though, because that's different. That's way more expensive than what the rental space is.
Say that one more time, I'm sorry?
I would think that that would have to be added to the regular insurance, since that's a much more expensive piece of equipment than the rest of the building there.
I don't know the answer off the top of my head, but I can.
But that's my
talk with legal,
question,
yeah.
because if that breaks down, someone's going to have to pay for it, and
Correct.
I don't think that the city should have to be.
Correct, and the way we worked out the lease agreement, they would have to have insurance to cover the equipment, correct?
Both. Okay, that was my concern.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The proposed lease is expected to generate a total revenue of approximately $464,000 over the lease term of the first 5 years. Additionally, the tenant's operations are projected to bring in approximately $232,000 in tax revenue, including sales tax, home rule, food and beverage, and property tax. We project the total revenue being approximately $696,000 in the first 5 years. That concludes tonight's presentation. We do have the 3 owners of Casa Katrina here tonight to address any questions you may have.
Good, thank you. Just one request, if you could, there was 4 finalists and then 3 voted finalists after the interviews. If you could send us the information on all 4 of those finalists, what their proposal was and so forth, so we
Yes.
can see and compare.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just to be clear, so I make sure you get what you want, for the final 4?
Not the 21 or
Yeah,
whatever
sure.
the number was.
Yeah, okay. And they're going to send the video, and we got the insurance question answered. Is there anything that you would like to offer tonight, or tomorrow is fine too? We can wait till tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Are you guys good?
I think we're good.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you for being here. And then the final council memo 59925, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Regional Transportation Authority and the City of Joliet for transit-oriented development zoning regulations. So that deals with just the area that we did the economic transit-oriented development study in. They will be helping us on rewriting zoning for that area. But it's not citywide, it's just for that, for the ETOD space. So I just want to make sure we all understood that as well. And that concludes the agenda.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? This is just for public comment. Okay, seeing none, I did receive a request for closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Moreno?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.